Hi there folks. In this video we're going to have a look at some commercial production 7.62 by 39mm ammunition. This is sold in Canada under the Dominion brand name, and those of you who are familiar with Canadian ammunition will know that Dominion used to be a Canadian company which manufactured a large variety of high quality ammunition. They went out of business years ago, and it appears that the brand name has been taken over by Canada Ammo, who is the importer and distributor of this ammunition. You can see they're acknowledging their involvement with this here. And this is actually Ukrainian manufactured ammunition, and it's reasonably priced. I bought this for $5.50 for the 20 round box. You can buy it for $249 for 1,000 from Canada Ammo. You can check that out on their website. But this was in my local gun shop, and I had the chance to buy a couple of boxes to try, so I figured I'd give it a go. The big attraction to this ammunition over surplus ammunition is the fact that it is non-corrosively primed. So although most of your 7.62 by 39mm firearms have chrome bores, there is still the gas system and the breech face and a few things that the corrosive priming residue can affect. And a lot of times, if you're in a hurry, you don't have a chance to clean your rifle immediately after use. So the availability of reasonably priced non-corrosive ammunition is quite attractive. As you can see, the box is sort of a commercial printing, but it's more of the military style, kind of like the Russian military boxes. And the ammunition is packed loose in here with paper dividers between each row of ammo. So you get 5 shots per row and 4 layers of ammunition. So as you can see, this is a fairly standard looking full metal jacket loading. Steel cartridge case, steel jacketed bullet. You can see a magnet sticks to both of those. And it's Berdan primed with that non-corrosive primer. So in keeping with my standard format for these reviews, I've pulled apart 10 rounds of the ammunition. The first thing we're going to look at is the bullet itself. These are nominally a 123 grain bullet. Here's a magnet. You can see that a magnet sticks to this bullet. These are steel jacketed, and the steel jacket has a copper plating over the top of it for some corrosion resistance, and perhaps as a little bit of a wear preventer. You know, steel on steel in your barrel wouldn't be the best thing. I thought about sectioning one of these bullets, but I really didn't see the point to it, since it is just a lead core with a steel jacket. There really wouldn't be a lot to see. You can see that the bases of these bullets are concave, dished in a bit there, with the jacket curled around the back of them. Somewhat noteworthy, there really isn't any significant canlore on these. There is a little bit of a mark here, but that's mostly from where the cartridge case was crimped down against the bullet, so really no particular canlore. These are fairly well held in the cases though. So let's have a look at the diameter of the bullet. Got my trusty old dial calipers here, and no particular surprise there. These are 310.5, which is pretty standard for this caliber of ammunition, or bullet for this ammunition. And we'll have a look at the length of the bullet itself, and it is 0.919. So we've done some measuring and weighing of these bullets, so I'll show you the results of that. We have 10 bullets weighed out here. The lightest was 123.1 grains. The heavier of the lot was 124.4. So that gave us an average of 123.9, standard deviation of 0.4 of a grain, and an extreme spread of 1.3 grains, which is fairly large, but for a sort of a military equivalent load, it's not really all that surprising. Something sort of interesting to look at, I've got the pulled bullets turned upside down in the cartridge cases just because it's easier to hold on to them and see them. But it's interesting to look at the bases of any particular group of bullets to see how uniform they are. And you can see here's one that's got a kind of a divot in the core. So you can judge for yourself what you think of the uniformity of those bullet bases. The truth is always in the shooting. We'll see how they shoot in a future test if the weather cooperates. And I would say the uniformity of the bullets is just average. I've seen worse. I've certainly seen better, but then again, this is low-cost military style ammo, so really not that surprising. I hope it will shoot decently because since it is a lead core bullet, it might stand a fair chance of being fairly uniform in terms of jacket thickness, and of course there shouldn't be any real issue with the cores other than differences in weight, so we will see at a later date. Alright, moving on, let's have a look at the powder charges that are in these rounds. Once again, nothing very surprising about the powder used. It is a short-grained extruded powder, sort of an IMR 4227 looking powder. Like I said, no surprise at all. This is pretty much what you find in the bulk of, sort of Eastern European loaded ammunition of this type. Let's have a look at the data from weighing the powder charges. We've got 10 powder charges weighed out, and as you can see, they're very uniform, 24.4 being the predominant figure. We've got 2 that come out at 24.3, which is the lowest spread, and only 1 at 24.6. So this gives us an average weight of 24.4 grains, standard deviation of less than 1/10 of a grain, and an extreme spread of only 0.3 of a grain. So very uniform powder charges. It seems that the manufacturers have figured out how to drop uniform charge weights, even in mass-produced, fairly cheap ammunition. The last component of the ammunition we're going to have a look at is the cartridge case. Once again, magnet sticks to that. It is, of course, steel, and it has a a lacquered finish over this kind of a parkerized base coat, and we'll see how that works out as far as reliability goes. I don't think there should be any particular issues. There doesn't seem to be an excessive amount of lacquer on these cases, so hopefully it won't gum up any chambers. The cases do not have any sealant on them. There's no sealant between the bullet and the cartridge neck. Quite often we'll see an asphalt seal on ammunition in this caliber. This does not have any such seal. Primers are Berdan, and according to Canada Ammo, these are guaranteed to be non-corrosive, and that is sort of the biggest draw to this ammunition. The fact that the ammunition is non-corrosive is a big selling point. You see the primers here, there appears to be a little bit of sealant around the primers there. I'm not 100% sure of that, but it looks like there's a little bit of sealant around the primers. And of course there's our head stamp, LCW 762 by 39. See if we can get some light inside there, if that's possible. Always tricky to get the angle of this in at the right. There you go. You can see the 2 flash holes and the center anvil punched into the case there. So a very standard steel case round, and the primers themselves appear to be of the 217 diameter, so that's a standard size primer for 762 by 39 military type ammunition. So really no big surprises, pretty standard looking ammo, and the big question is, how well does it shoot? I don't expect great things from it because it's low cost ammunition, but hopefully it will outshoot the steel cored ammunition, which generally shoots rather poorly in my opinion. And the fact that this is non-corrosively primed should be a good draw for a lot of guys, because you don't have to worry about your gas system rusting out if you don't look after it immediately, like you do have to do with most of the surplus ammo, or actually all of the surplus ammunition. So anyway, I guess that'll do it for a benchtop review of this ammunition. It looks At first glance, it looks to be pretty good, at least from here, and the price looks attractive. So I'm going to be curious to see how it works out on the range, see how it works for accuracy, function, and velocity. So wish me luck with some decent weather so I can get up to the range and shoot some of this stuff up. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you later.